Yeah, so this is first 2 weeks of actual work part 2. That's not going to be the real title. In this video, I will be talking about kind of like my life in Fukui and things that I like and things that I don't like, because there are some things that I don't like about Japan. It's a great country, but it can be a bit frustrating. Anyway, so little dance party. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first things first. Even in Japan, Fukui is known for having the worst drivers in the whole country. The worst drivers. So I kind of feel it's like Florida. It's really like Florida, where you have all of your old people that are they just can't drive. Like, I know you want your independence and you want to like do things and go out and have fun, but your reaction times are slower, your vision is getting worse, and you can't see over the steering wheel anymore, and it's a problem. It's a problem. So please do not, because I have seen some really crazy car things going on here. Like, it's too much. It's there are 3 things that really bother me about Fukui drivers. I guess 4. Okay, so 1, a lot of them tend to be really old, and that's not their fault. It's not. I understand. But it makes like the whole driving system really terrible. Like, the light will turn green and they just won't go. They won't. Because they just stop paying attention, and then they realize it's green, and then only like 2 cars get through, and then you're stuck there and you're just like, oh my god, like I have to wait another turn. Like, it's insane. Like, if that person had just paid attention, you would have been able to go. I also heard a story from one of my friends about how they saw this old gentleman. He fell asleep at the steering wheel waiting for the light to turn green. Just fell asleep. Like, he just like that. And then somehow he let go of the brake since he was sleeping, and he literally just like rolled through the intersection, through a red light, rolls through somehow, like, thank goodness he like made it to the other side without anyone like getting injured or crashing into him. And then as soon as he got to the other side, you could see, wake up. And then he just drove away. And like, when my friend told me this, I was so shocked. I was like, I cannot believe like that would happen. But like, as I've been driving here more and more, I can totally believe that that would happen. Like, it is insane. Also, Japanese drivers, I guess in Fukui, just don't know how to turn into the correct lane. They take the turn either too narrow or too wide, and it's literally frightening. So like, I will be standing here, and then someone will make a right turn into the street that I am on. And they try and cut the corner, but that causes me to have to like back up because they stop because I'm in the way when I'm not. They're just the one cutting the corner. So they have to like pause in traffic, and then I have to back up, and then they can go around. But if they had literally just went out in a wider turn, they would have been totally fine, and no traffic would have been obstructed, and I wouldn't have had to back up because I'm at the line. Okay, so like, because this is a new country and I don't know all the driving rules, I try and follow every single rule that I can to a T. So if there's a line there, I will stop at the line. If the light is even like about to turn yellow, I will slow down because I know it's going to turn yellow. And like, the yellow lights here are really fast, so it's like yellow, red. Like, why? Oh my gosh, it is driving here is so annoying. Even the cyclists are really awful. this is kind of off topic, but one time I was at the grocery store and I was backing into my parking spot. And I'm just going slowly backing into my parking spot. And this old guy on a bike sees that I'm backing up, but he decides to go right behind me, in between like me backing up and then the car parked in like the next parking spot. So I'm like here and this car is here, and he goes like, phew, and I'm like, like putting on the brake, and I'm like, oh my god, like I almost hit this guy. Not that it's my fault at all. It's that guy who's like going through traffic like it's nothing, and like where is the logic? Like I just don't understand. Like I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And the thing is, like, if I had hit that person, I would have been partially to blame. Because in Japan, like, no matter what kind of accident it is, like, both parties are 50% at fault. That's, like, I can't. Like, so much of this is just, like, oh, like, you can just, like, feel, like, your heart, like, just, like, ugh, like, why? But there's, like, nothing I can do about it. Like, there's literally nothing I can do about it. Like, it's just how these people drive. It's crazy. The other thing that I really dislike, okay, so texting or using your phone while you're driving is strictly illegal. And yet, everyone uses their phone and driving. Like, phone while driving. Everyone. So, like, I'm like, okay, on the highway, oh, why is this guy going so slow? So I like go around him, speed up a bit. He's on his phone. Some like 70-year-old guy texting on his phone. I'm just like, oh my gosh, okay, 1, you're old, and 2, you're texting. Who are you texting? Like, who are you actually talking to right now? Like, I don't understand. It's so crazy. I can't. Okay, and then the other thing is that a lot of Japanese cars have TVs in the dashboard so that even the driver can watch TV while driving. I'm just gonna let that be. Like, I don't understand. I don't get it. But yeah, driving in Japan, it's not fun. I mean, it's kind of fun actually because it's like dangerous. So you kind of get like that rush, but also it's honestly terrifying, like how terrible these drivers are. Like I'm so careful when I drive here. It's really bad. Okay, so just having a car in general is just kind of annoying, but whatever. It's good because I can actually get around places and I'm not limited to like where I can go on the bus and the train or walking, because I mean, I'm in the countryside. There's rice fields everywhere. There's no trains. I mean, there's a train station, but it doesn't go anywhere within the city. It just goes out of the city, which because I guess no one really wants to stay here. It's a really nice place, but it's not Tokyo, it's not Kyoto, it's not Osaka, it's not any of the big cities. Definitely rural, which is good. It allows me to save money and travel to the cities. So that leads into the next thing I wanted to talk to you about. Cost of living here. I think overall it's cheaper than when I was living in Gainesville, when I was living in Palm Beach. So that's good. But the thing is, it feels more expensive just because of like how Japanese society works. So in America, you can use your debit card to pay for literally anything. You use your debit card at Starbucks, you use your debit card at wherever, you know, like you go shopping, you spend $200 on clothes, you use your debit card, like no big deal. But here, no matter how big the purchase is, you have to pay with cash. Like all the time, you have to pay with cash. And like Japanese people think it's safer to use cash because I guess no one steals or robs from each other here, which that's a whole nother thing. But so yeah, they say it's safer than like using a debit card, using a credit card, because like I guess anyone could steal that information and then use it, or like it's just not secure. I don't know what it is. But yeah, so you have to use cash, which means you think you have a lot of money in your account. Then you go and take money out, and then you see that number decrease by a lot, because it doesn't make sense to just take out $100 here, because you can use that up in a couple days, like maybe even just one day. So you take out like maybe $300, and like you used to have $1,000 in your account. And then you take out the 300, and then all of a sudden you have $700 in your account, and you're just like, what happened? I like just got paid. What happened? Why do I have $700? It's because you have the other $300 in your wallet. And like, it's just crazy. The other thing that makes it seem really expensive is that, so food here does not have the same preservatives that it does in America. So I'm really used to having carrots last like 2 months before having to like get rid of them, you know? Here, I'm lucky if carrots last 4 days. I've had to throw out a lot of food before I realized that I probably shouldn't buy that much, because in America you buy food for a whole week, sometimes 2 weeks. Or you buy enough food to make like one dish that will last you forever. But here you have to prepare new food every couple of days because the old food is already bad. So constant trips to the ATM and then constant trips to the grocery store. I just feel like every 3 or 4 days I'm paying a lot of money just for food. And like, because I still don't know what to cook, or like, I don't know, even have time to figure out what I want to cook. I've just been having salads and chicken and yeah, those kinds of things. So produce is really expensive here actually, because like Japan doesn't have a good climate for growing a lot of the produce that they eat or have become popular here. They import a lot of their stuff. So it's just expensive, or it's expensive because like the natural environment doesn't exist here, so they create that environment. So in greenhouses or in different like labs, I don't know how they really do it, but they create the environment for that one specific produce item to grow. And because of all the technology and work that goes into it, the price goes up. Yeah. So it just seems really expensive, even though it probably isn't as expensive as it is in America. However, the one thing that like really helps out is that the Board of Education actually pays for a percentage of my rent. So I'm really lucky in that I only have to pay $250-ish a month for rent, and then like electricity, gas, water, those are all separate bills. And yeah, so it's definitely cheaper than when I was living in Gainesville. So that's something, but just like the constant use of cash and trips to the grocery store and gas for my car, it seems to add up, at least in a way that I can actually like hold and feel. Like it becomes so tangible when you have to use cash, and it seems like nothing when you just use a debit card. You just swipe it and then put in your PIN and you're done. Yeah, but I mean, it's good. I'm not like short on cash. I'm totally fine. It's just I can feel it. I can feel like the money just going away. But like, I know I'm complaining a lot about these things, but really like Japan is amazing. I just wanted you guys to understand like these are the problems that I'm facing here now. And like you hear about the great things like when you travel, like, oh, this was amazing and that was amazing, and like you have to do this and you have to do that. But like living here is so different. Like you're always going to like encounter like problems that you wouldn't face like just traveling or just vacationing for fun. So I just wanted you guys to understand that aspect of my life. But yeah, I've been able to make so many great friends, like both in my apartment complex with other Jets and also in the community. So it's really great. And I'm glad you guys like watched this video. I already have a couple ideas that I want to cover on the next video that I kind of thought of as I was just making this one. So yeah, there's more to come. So yeah, see you next time.